Hey all, today we're going to be making a simple wrong password animation in Swift. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new Xcode project. We're going to do a single view application. We're going to call it simple wrong password. And we're going to do it in Swift, make sure that's selected, devices iPhone, and we're going to unselect all these boxes. Just save that wherever you want. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to main.storyboard. We're going to drag in a text field. Let's make that a little wider. Let's center it. And we're going to add some constraints. So what we're going to do is we're going to constrain it to the top. It doesn't matter where you put it. And we're going to set the width and height. And then we're going to horizontally center it in the container. We're going to say the placeholder text is going to be enter password. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a button. We're going to drag that button in, and we're going to put it right under our text field. We're going to align that with the text field, set the width and height, and horizontally center it in the container. We're going to change the button name to say enter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the assistant editor. We're going to create an IB outlet for the text field called password text field. And I'm not going to focus on adding the mark properties or anything like that, because right now the main focus of this video is to teach you how to do a simple view animation. And then we're going to create an IB action called did press enter. And we're going to assign that to UI button. Event is touch up inside, and arguments is it is the sender. Okay, so we can close that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to viewController.swift, and we're going to assign it this view as a UI text field delegate. And under viewDidLoad, we're going to add password text field dot delegate equals self. So what this is going to allow the text field to do is interact with other elements of our view controller. And this is important. If you forget it, it won't work. So just don't forget that. The same applies to a lot of different things in iOS and Xcode. So what you're going to do is under did press enter, first thing we're going to do is password text field dot resign first responder. So what this is going to do is this is going to dismiss the keyboard after you press enter. And that's important because if you don't, then it's going to cover up the animation. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a UI view dot animate with duration, and you're going to select the one that says using spring with damping. We're going to set the duration to 0.1. The delay will be 0.0. Using spring with damping, we're going to set this as a 1. Initial velocity, 0. Options, UI view animation options dot curvies in animations. So what we're going to do is we're going to do curly brace, and we're going to say password self dot password text field dot center dot x plus equals 20. Actually, let's make that 10. And then completion, we're going to set this as nil because it is not essential right now. And now what we're going to do from here is we're going to do the exact same thing. But instead of typing it out, I'm going to copy. And I'm going to paste. And I'm going to do that one more time. And now what we're going to do, under the second one, we're going to minus 20. And then on the last one, we're going to keep it as plus 10. So what this is going to do is this is going to make it so that it goes halfway forward, all the way back, and halfway forward, bringing it back to where it started. Now, it is really important that you make sure it goes back to where it started, or it's going to seem wrong and Apple might reject your app. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put under delay 0.1 on the second UIViewAnimation. Now, the reason for this is because our first animation lasts 0.1 seconds. So it would be kind of weird if we had two animations running at the same time, and it would seem like it's bugging. So we're going to do that. And then on the last one, we're going to put it as 0.2, because that is the value of our first animation and our second animation's duration put together. So let's build and run this now. Let's run it on a 5S. Let's bring in. Ooh, way too small. Okay. So you notice it works right now. So let's enter 6. Enter. Okay, this is cool. But there's one big problem. We're not checking for a password. So what we're going to do is we're going to create, let's do a constant, and let's call it my password, and then let's make that equal to hi. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to copy all of that code that we just wrote, and we're just going to write an if statement. If password text field dot text is equal to my password, we're going to print good job. And then under else, we're going to take all that code that we just wrote, we're going to paste that there. Okay, so let's try running it now. So let's try hi. So you notice it doesn't do anything, but we have it printing good job. But if we type H and we press enter, it does our little animation. Now you can make it more complex. You can add more UIViewAnimations and have it go even further or longer, have it go back and forth more times. That won't be a problem. Just make sure that every time you do that, you always make sure that your delays match up with the amount of time that your animations are taking up, or it's going to really mess it up. So here, let's try doing that right now. So let's set the delay to 0.0 on the last one. Let's build and run that on the simulator. Now what we're going to do is 5. So you notice it just jiggles. But it does come back to center. So let's bring that back and let's make that 2 again. And of course you can do whatever. So let's make this a better color. So let's make the color of our text white. And let's make the background black. This way it's more visible. Because I don't know if you guys can see what's going on. I don't know what kind of device you guys are watching on. So here you go. Here's 5. That's not my password, of course. But if I type hi, it doesn't do anything. So there you have it. There is a simple wrong password animation in Swift.